Okay, well, it is truly an honor to be here tonight to honor Bill Crawford and give him the Lifetime Achievement Award. I do have some notes here because I've got a wonderful quote from someone very special in the industry, and that's why I'll be using that. But, guys, coaches, and trainers like Bill Crawford really paved the way in the 70s for trainers. The big wave of trainers came along in the 80s. I was in that group that came along in the 80s. And it was guys like Bill Crawford that really laid the foundation for what the industry was going to become. And is still becoming. It's evolving every year. And guys like Bill Crawford really laid that foundation. And it is an honor to be here to honor him tonight. And Debbie as well for being with him for the last 25 years. So really, it's a Lifetime Achievement Award for Bill, but certainly Debbie is a big part of that as well. So, now, many of you know that I'm heavily involved with the Lalane legacy and their rebirth of the Lalane brand, and so I spent a lot of time with their family. And we've got a lot of projects going with that. And I was talking to Elaine just recently, and I told her that I would be here tonight for Bill, and she asked me if I would say a few words for her and the Lalane family. So that's what my notes are for, and I am going to quote directly from Elaine Lalane. Bill Crawford is a born achiever. Aren't we lucky he went into the fitness industry over 46 years ago and dedicated his life to it? If my husband Jack could be here today, I know along with me he would say, Bill Crawford and his wife Debbie care, share, and are devoted to helping people to help themselves. If I were there, I would give you both a big hug and congratulate you for your well-deserved National Fitness Hall of Fame Lifetime Achievement Award. Yay, yippee, and superfragilistic congratulations. Love, health, and many blessings, la. So I echo those sentiments, Bill, and it is my distinct honor to give you the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for everybody for coming tonight. It's nice to meet new friends and hang out with old friends. So this little message from Lala was really unexpected. That really got me. She's an amazing woman. And early on in my career, I had a little encounter with her husband, Jack. And, when I first got into this, I'll tell you the story. My friends and family were telling me that I was going down the wrong road. They said, this is nuts. You need to stick with your advertising career. This is short-lived. It's a fad. It's going to go away. And I just opened up a new Nautilus Club on Westwood Boulevard in Westwood, Los Angeles. And Jack came in with Terry Robinson. I think it was Terry Robinson. He wanted to see the club, and he pulled me aside. He says, kid, this time fitness is here to stay. He says, you're on the right track. Stick with it. And it was really a big encouragement. And to have years later Lala come back and give those words of encouragement to both Debbie and I is a big deal for me. So wherever you are out there, thank you so much. So I'll tell you how I got started in this fitness industry. I grew up in a little mountain town in Colorado called Ouray. And there's no flat ground in Ouray. It's about 10,000 feet, and it turns to 14,000 feet within a mile. So there you become fit just because of the consequence of the topography that you grow up in. We were always hiking, biking, skiing, doing whatever we could. So we were fit. There was no unfit people that lived in Ouray. And I was a downhill ski racer. I trained for a long time to do that, and then I hit a pine tree and I had to switch gears. So I went out to Los Angeles and I opened up an advertising agency, and one of my very first clients was someone that was opening up a gym. And I did his advertising campaign, I did his graphics, and I watched him sign thousands of people up like really fast. And I thought, you know, I can put my skills and my experience and my promotion abilities together. I'm going to get in the fitness business. And so I did. I became his partner. And we opened up the second club, Sweat Equity for me. And then we met Arthur Jones, the guy that invented Nautilus equipment. And we were in the right place at the right time. And that was really the ignition of the fitness boom in Los Angeles. And we opened up, you know, lots of clubs. I eventually bought him out and opened up Basic Training out in Westlake Village. And after about 10 years of running 10 clubs with no electronics, no computers, no email, no fax machines, I decided I'd had enough, and I found out that my expertise wasn't really in managing people and fitness centers. I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to go more into the training of people, working with people. That's where I got my satisfaction. So I sold those clubs. Some of those went to my former sales manager, Chin Yi, and he developed those into LA Fitness. And he's done great with LA Fitness. I don't know how they manage all those people, but they do, and it's awesome and it's wonderful. I worked with Arthur Jones at that point in time. I went to Florida, built a couple of gyms there, and I was going back and forth to Germany, setting up rehabilitation centers and training clinicians and bringing people over to the University of Florida to get certified. By the way, the club that I built on Fort Myers Beach is not there. It's gone. It was taken out in the hurricane, along with the house that I used to live in. Just totally gone. So in 1996, I moved to Arizona to do a merger between Fitness Planet and LA Fitness, and that took a year. And that's when I decided that, you know, I want to stay here. And that's when I met Debbie, my wife. And so, you know, I did a lot of things before I came to Arizona, but everything that I've done since I've been in Arizona, Debbie's been right there with me. Rock solid, great partner. We work together every single day, 12 to 14 hours a day. So Debbie, thank you for all that you've done to support me to get this wonderful accolade, okay? And it really is. I was thinking this morning, it's already been mentioned, but it was 10 years ago I was inducted into the National Fitness Hall of Fame. 10 years ago, that's a long time. So 10 years later, to get this is just really an awesome expression of the support that I have, not just with my clients and members, but also the people in the industry. I'm so grateful, I can't even tell you, it's wonderful. One of the joys in life is finding something that you love to do. And if you can do something that you love to do, it's not work. And people always ask me, well, are you going to retire? No. And do what? You know, play bingo? Golf? No. I'm going to train people until I'm not able to do so anymore. Might not be as big an operation. I might wind it down a little bit, but I love what I do. And Debbie and I get to work together. My clients become my friends. And you know, I discovered a long time ago that when you spend 2 or 3 hours a week with a client, you get to know them, and you forge relationships with them. Remember, does anybody know who Armand Tanny was? Okay, he owned Occidental Oil Company. He was a big shot. He comes into one of my gyms in Los Angeles one day, kind of disheveled, little old man, and he wanted to join the membership, and he wanted to sign up his staff. And he gave me his card. He says, come by my office tomorrow. We'll work something out. I'll give you a check because I want my staff to be able to come here. Well, I didn't know who he was. So I pulled up in front of this building on Wilshire Boulevard, I think it was. Big red brick building, goes all the way up to the sky, get in the elevator, go up to the top floor. I'm in Armand Tanny's office. And this was in the late 70s. I walked out with a check, I think for $20,000 for his office staff. That was a lot of money back then. But when I was training him and other people like Henry Fonda and celebrities and so on and so forth, you have access to them. You get to know them. We've probably got a dozen doctors that work out with us next door. If we have something that we need to talk to a doctor about, hey, come over here. What's going on here? We don't have to make an appointment. We don't have to go anywhere. Same thing with lawyers. So we basically have in-house law, in-house medical practitioners, but regular people. Another thing I want to tell you about, people often ask me, who's the favorite celebrity or sports team that you've worked with? Who's that person? My answer to that is, it's the guy that comes in, is 90 years old in a walker or a wheelchair, and we can get him up and walking again. That is satisfaction for doing this kind of work that you can't even imagine. Those are my favorite clients. And it's always the next one. And we always have people coming in. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. I could talk for hours and hours. It's my favorite subject. Talk politics for a little while, and half the room hates you, half the room wants to kill you. So I'm sticking to fitness. Okay? Thank you so much.